Hi everyone, and welcome back. So we're going to look at Unit 2.15 today. This is on page 374, and we're going to be solving two-step inequalities. Okay, so go ahead and write today's date up at the top for me, please. And let's look at the two objectives for today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve two-step inequalities. And then we're going to graph two-step inequalities. Okay. So we're going to solve two-step inequalities and graph two-step inequalities. So we've actually done this before. We've worked with them with equations. The only thing that's a little bit different is you got to watch the negative whenever you're dividing. Okay? Everything else is exactly the same as equations. So everyone freaks out over these. Okay, it's not anything difficult. We've done these before. All right, shouldn't be too difficult for you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, example 1. We're going to solve 3x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 16, and then we're going to graph the solution set on a number line. All right, so remember what you do is you add and subtract first, and then you multiply and divide. So for this one, we're going to subtract 4. That's going to give us 3x. Those are going to cancel. Keep the sign the same, at least for now. And then 16 minus 4, which is going to give us 12. Okay, from here we need to get rid of the 3, so we're going to divide it off. Now you ask yourself, did I multiply or divide by a negative? The answer is no. All I did was divide by a positive, so I keep the sign the same. And we're going to graph that out. So the solution would be negative or 3, and then we need everything greater than or equal, so we're going to do a closed dot and shade towards the left. Or right, I'm sorry, shade towards the right. All right, example 2. We're going to solve 5 plus 4x is less than 33, and then graph that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So this one's actually written backwards, but it's okay because at least everything's over on the left side. So we're going to get rid of the 5 first. So let's minus off 5. Okay, that's going to give us 4x. And then we're going to keep the sign the same because we just added and subtracted. Nothing's changed yet. And then 33 minus 5 would give us 28. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to divide. So divide by 4. And then again, with inequalities, this is when you ask yourself, did I multiply or divide by a negative? No, I divided by a positive, so I keep the inequality the same, and then I figure out my answer, which is 7. Okay, let's graph that out. And it should be less than, so I need open circle and going towards the left. Okay, let's try the got it question by ourselves. And let's take a look. So we have solve 2x plus 8 is greater than 24. Graph the solution on the number line provided. All right, so let me work it out over here, I guess. So we'll do 2x plus 8 is greater than 24. Okay, so we're going to minus off 8. That's going to give us 2x is greater than, and that's going to give us, let's see, 16. Divide that by 2. Then we ask ourselves again, did I multiply or divide by a negative? Nope, it was positive, so keep that the same, and that makes that 8. All right, so I need an 8 here. I need greater than, so open circle and going that way. All right, let's continue on. Okay, example 3 says solve 7 minus 2x is greater than 11, and then graph that one out. So we will subtract off 7. It's going to leave us with negative 2x is greater than, and then we have 11 minus 7, which is 4. We're going to divide by negative 2. Okay, x. And I ask myself, did I multiply or divide by a negative? In this case, I did. So I actually need to reverse the sign to less than, and then make that negative 2. Okay, again, why does it change? Because if you plugged it back in, all right, you would be saying that a negative is bigger than a positive. That's not going to be true. Okay, so that's why we change it around. All right, so go ahead and graph that one. And that's what we should get. All right, let's take a look at example 4. We have x over 2 minus 5 is less than negative 8. All right, so for this one, we're going to add 5. And that's going to give us negative 3. Okay, so we have x over 2 is less than negative 3. So now I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm going to multiply by 2. Get x, and then since I multiplied by a positive, I'm going to keep the sign, and then that becomes negative 6. Let's graph that out. So let me open going towards the left. All right, let's go ahead and try the got it questions by ourselves. And let's take a look. So we got letter B, we have x over 2 plus 9 is greater than or equal to 5. So we're going to minus 9. It's going to give me x over 2. It's greater than or equal to negative 4. I'm going to times it by 2. And that's going to give me negative 8. Close dot this time, and shading right. Okay, next one. We have 8, so we need to subtract it. We have negative x over 3. It's less than or equal to negative 1. Oops, grab my line there. Sorry about that. All right, now we have a negative out front, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the negative with it, okay? So we're going to take negative 3 with it. And that's going to give me x, and then since I'm taking it with it, we're going to switch it because it's negative 3, and that's going to make it positive 3. Okay, then we're going to do a closed dot, and again, it is greater than or equal, so we're going to go towards the right. All right, so don't forget, if you multiply or divide by a negative, that's when you got to reverse the inequality around. All right, doesn't matter what the number solution is, it's what the what your moving part is. All right, let's take a look at example 5. Halfway through the bowling league season, Stewart has 34 strikes. He averages 2 strikes per game. Write and solve an inequality to find how many more games it will take for Stewart to have at least 61 strikes, the league record. Interpret the solution. All right, so for this one, let's go ahead and write this out. So he's got 34 strikes already. Okay. He's getting 2 strikes per game. And then he needs to do at least 61. Okay, so we're going to subtract off 34. Keep the sign the same for now. 61 minus 34, that's going to give us 27. Divide by 2. And I'll scoot over here. So it's G is greater than or equal, and that's going to give us 13.5. Okay, then we need to interpret the solution. So since he needs at least 13 and a half strikes, obviously you can't get a half of a strike, so he's going to need to do 14 more games. Okay, or sorry, I said strikes. Well, I meant games. Okay, so he needs at least 14 more games. There we go. All right, and that's it. So just remember that negative rule in there whenever you're multiplying and dividing, and I think you'll be good to go. So just remember you're adding and subtracting first, and then multiplying and dividing, and then don't forget to graph if you need to, or interpret in this case, so put in some words. And that's it. So thanks so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.